So you suck at Fortnite. You wouldn't be here if you didn't. So today we're going to go over the science of why you suck at Fortnite. I've read hundreds of books in the past few years, and actually some of them have been on how to learn, how people get better. So I'm going to explain to you guys how you can get better at Fortnite using these scientific principles, the same way LeBron James became the best basketball player ever, the same way that Ninja became one of the best Fortnite players. I'm going to go over the laws that no one can break, the laws that apply to every single person. Once you know this, you can apply this to your own life, and you can actually become an amazing Fortnite player. You can become amazing at really anything, whether you want to be a good YouTuber, a piano player, a weightlifter, or just a really smart person, and what do you want to get a doctorate degree? You can do all of this stuff with what I'm about to share with you. So be sure to stick until the end, and of course, if this helps you out, I recommend sharing this video with your squad, your teammates in Fortnite, because once they have this knowledge, they're going to be able to go really far in the game. I think before we jump into the topic of this video, you need to understand the why. You need to understand what I'm about to explain and how this works with other celebrities and famous sports players. So let's take a look at Brazil. Brazil is one of the greatest countries in the world for soccer, along with Spain, Germany. There's a lot of great countries around there. You ever wondered why the United States is never that great at soccer? We've never really won the World Cup. We didn't even make it in the last year. Why is that? You ever wonder, why is Brazil just good? These kids are just good. Ronaldinho was just good with these skills. He didn't have to practice. Well, no, actually, a researcher looked into this. He was very curious. Why is it that certain areas of the world are better? Like America's great at basketball. Why is that? Well, let's look at the soccer example in Brazil specifically. This researcher went to Brazil and looked at how they were training their soccer players, and it was actually different than how any other country in the world did it. They play a game called futsal there. It's basically like soccer, if you're not familiar, on a smaller field. It's much smaller, the ball is smaller, the ball is heavier. What's that mean? It means it's going to be a lot easier to dribble the ball, do skill moves, and a lot harder to pass the ball. It also means there's going to be a lot more opportunities for you to make a mistake. And this is what the researcher identified as the reason why Brazil is so good at soccer. Because as a young kid, they make millions more mistakes than any other country in the world while playing futsal. These mistakes involve bad passes, bad dribbling, bad shots, but they happen at such a quick pace that they can get more of those mistakes in. So now let's apply that to Fortnite. Let's say there's two guys, me and you. I get to be the good one, you get to be the bad one because I like to look good. So you get on Fortnite every night after school or after work, and you play for an hour with your buddies. In that hour, maybe you get 1 win, and maybe you get 5 losses. So of those 5 losses, they're all about maybe, let's say, 15 minutes each. So you play a bunch of 15-minute games. You make it until the top 3 and then you die. You just aren't good enough to get the win. But then let's break that down even further, all right? In those 15 minutes, you maybe built, let's say, 100 structures, all right? You built 100 structures in those 15 minutes. You got 1,000 wood in that entire game. That is a 1,000 wood game, all right? It's not going to happen a lot. Most of us probably won't even get that much wood unless you're actually winning or you're harvesting like crazy. So let's cut that down. Let's say you build 50 structures in 15 minutes. That's your build. If you mess up, you die, you start over, you're sitting in the load screen, you're sitting waiting, you're sitting hiding. A lot of time spent waiting, all right? Now let's look at me. I'm gonna get home from work. I'm gonna jump in for an hour or 20 minutes or whatever and do what's called a build war. We'll compare this to futsal and soccer. You jump into the build war and you build and you battle a friend to see who can kill the other person by simply building above them and then shooting them without taking down their structures. So you're not going to just break the entire structure. You're literally going to force yourself to build. And by forcing yourself to build over and over and over with unlimited supplies, over an hour straight, with constant pressure and constant mistakes, guess what's going to happen? You are basically forcing yourself to make mistakes, and in turn, forcing yourself to learn from those mistakes and then apply those in games. So while I can have 10,000 structures built and make 600 mistakes, in your hour, you'll build maybe 2,000 structures and you'll make 60 mistakes. It's 10 times better. That's a complete made up number. I have no idea how much better it is. But it's at least 10 times better just from a simple material standpoint. I'm getting thousands and thousands of wood and I'm building over and over and over and I'm making mistakes over and over and over and learning. Just like how Brazilian kids make mistakes in futsal, you make mistakes in build wars and you learn from those mistakes and then you bring them to the game. Futsal is not the same as soccer. Build wars is not the same as squads. But the principles and the lessons you learn while playing it are the same. So people aren't just good at the game. Ninja isn't just good. Tfue isn't just good. People get good at the game because they do stuff like this. They get in with friends and they practice. They're not going to show it on stream. Maybe they don't even need to at this point because they're so good. Their game becomes a practice for them, right? Because they're building the 10,000 billion structures in a game. They're that good, but we're not. So the reason you're here is to learn how to do this. The reason you're here is to learn how to be better. This is the first step you need to take because you need to be good at 2 things to win in Fortnite: shooting and building. What's more important? Building. A good builder will always be a good shooter any day because you can outbuild that shooter to run away, to block his shots, to get the high ground, and then make his bad shot, then turn a good shooter into a bad shooter, right? You're not going to win from the low ground no matter how good you are. So if you can outbuild people, you can 3v1. Think about it. If you have a perfect shot with that AK or whatever weapon you're using, if you're 3v1, you're going to lose, right? If you can't build, you're dead. Even if your shot's great, they're going to kill you. But if you're a good builder, you can actually beat a 3v1 fairly easily by isolating your opponents. So what I want you guys to do, the homework for this episode, is jump in at least once a week for an hour to build wars with a friend. At least 1 hour a week minimum if you're trying to get good and competitive at this game. That's how it takes. Every single episode we're going to have some kind of homework, some kind of challenge for you guys to do to improve, and hopefully by doing these challenges you're going to get a little bit better at the game. If you think this helped you, share it with your squad or teammates. Try to explain to them why they need to be doing build wars. We're going to be covering a lot in this series. Leave a comment, let me know what kind of other things you want to learn about and the science behind how to improve. If you guys enjoyed this, leave a like, share with your squad. Peace. Spread the love.